And these are the discouragers during focus. So for example, the environment. Maybe something happened in our house, or someone harmed us, and we start thinking about it. Or maybe there's some, like, a lot of birds passing through your window, so you start watching the birds, or you start watching the fly. So yeah, you start like focusing, like, in a really slow rate, but then you're in a point that you just can't focus anymore. The next one is comparing to other people. So let me give an example. So there's my friend. Hi, I'm friend, and then there's me. And my friend already did all the stuff I had to do, because we had the same tasks and activities. So friend already did everything, or well, almost everything. Meanwhile, I haven't done anything, and we've had the same time, and I haven't done anything. And let's not involve sports, let's not involve food, let's not involve anything. Let's say we had the exact same time, and I haven't done anything. So I start saying, oh, my friend, she already did everything. Oh my god, how? And then I start, like, punching myself, like, why? And then, well, this starts making me, like, feel a lot of things, like, bad. And then this starts taking me to overthinking. And overthinking, well, it distracts me. The last one is external pressure emphasizing your procrastination. What do I mean with this? So, sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but let's say I'm really concentrated and I'm happy because I finally stopped procrastinating today. And I'm doing my work, and then my mom enters my room, and she says, why haven't you done anything? Or why haven't you done so little? Look at your friend. She already did a lot of things. Why haven't you done anything? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm concentrating. Like, I already, like, I beat procrastination today. But she's like, no, but why haven't you done anything? So it's like another punch. So I'm already punching myself. But now she's, like, punching me again. So that, again, takes you to overthinking. And that, again, distracts you and demotivates you. Okay, so the next one is procrastinators' activities. So these are the main ones. So the next one is procrastinators' activities. So these are the main ones. So the first one is media. So, well, you know, social media like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, chatting with your friends, or also Netflix, Disney Plus, you know, like streaming apps. The next one is solidarity. Yes, I know solidarity is really important. I actually like to help people a lot. But solidarity is not a way of you doing things. So let me give the example of my friend again. So my friend, again, has the same things I have to do. So yeah, me too, I have the same things as my friend. So I decide to help my friend do her things, and then my friend finishes doing everything because I helped her. and I haven't done anything. So I used solidarity as an excuse for not doing anything. The next one is well-being. So let me explain this one. So you find yourself like doing whatever you have to do, and you're like, oh, I'm thirsty, and then you go for water, and then you go back, and they're like you finish your water, and they're like, oh, I'm sleepy, and you go for coffee, and then you're, oh, I'm hungry, and then you go for food, and then you just like go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what is this? Like an excuse to not do anything. Of course, yeah, water is good, and coffee is delicious, and food is delicious, but it's not the way of doing stuff. Or maybe it's a cold day, and you're like, oh, I'm cold, and then you go for a sweater, then you go back, then you sit down, and you're like, no, I'm still cold. Let's go again. And then you go, and then you go back, and now you have socks on. And then you continue doing that. The next activity that procrastinators do is forgetting basics. So I'm sitting down and I want to start whatever, like, I don't know, a chemistry thing. And I have my notebook, but then I'm like, oh, I forgot my pen. Then you go for your pen, and then you sit down. Then you like, oh, I forgot my book. And then you go back, and then, oh, I forgot my computer. And then that's a constant, again, the well-being thing. You're using that as an excuse. And last but not least, bizarre purgatory. What is this? So sometimes we don't let ourselves procrastinate in normal leisure activities. So we don't let ourselves scroll through social media or sit down and watch Netflix. So what do we do instead? We start maybe refreshing the mail, like constantly, like not doing anything, not reading anything, just refreshing the mail again and again and again. Or maybe we have the Word document open, and then we start typing like whatever letters that don't make sense together. Or we start writing, hi, how are you? Like, it doesn't make sense. So no one wins. No one, like, yeah, procrastination doesn't win. And we don't win because we're not doing anything. So, you may know the consequences, like I said before, those negative emotions, anger, guilt, dread, and many more. But what do these emotions do? They mentally burn you. They start, like I said before, you start overthinking everything. And then, well, like I said, you're punching yourself. So your mind starts to get tired. And now you have like mood issues, or maybe you start projecting all those negative emotions you feel because of procrastination. So you start pushing away the people you care of. Health problems. I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me like 2 months ago. No, like a month ago. I, like, out of nowhere started feeling dizzy and nauseous and really really stressed, and I didn't know why. And then, well, while I was investigating for this presentation, I found that, and I discovered that it was because I was procrastinating and overthinking everything. So it got to a point that I just poof, like, showed everything I felt. and that start affecting my health. The next one is sleep deprived. Now you have to do work at 1 a.m. because you didn't do it before. But also, let's say now you're gonna sleep because you said, no, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Like you continuously procrastinate. So, no, I'm gonna do it tomorrow at recess or something. Or I'm gonna do it tomorrow while I'm, I don't know, having breakfast. And now when you're sleeping, when you're in your bed, you're trying to sleep, but you can't. Because why? Why? Because you're overthinking. Yeah, that's like my favorite word. So because you're overthinking, you're constantly like those, like these words popping in your head. You didn't do what you had to do. That word, that phrase, constantly popping in your mind. Like every time you start falling asleep, and then you didn't do what you had to do. And you're like, oh my god. You see, so, and of course, last, wanting to do my best, but not being able to. So now, because of time, because of your mind being tired, burned, you're not able to do and show your best through this activity and work. Um, through my investigation and like through my whole life, I've heard this first one, this task development myth, which is I work better under pressure. No, you don't. You don't work better under pressure. What happens? Well, like I said before, the panic monster acts and starts like pushing yourself to do things, to do what you had to do. So start like, hey, you have to do the things because the due date is close. Do it, do it, do it, do it. So you don't work better under pressure. Actually, you work because you're panicked and you're scared because you're not gonna make it to the time you have to do. The next one is planning is the solution. Yeah, like I said before, doing is a kryptonite. So you start planning and planning and planning and planning a lot. The next one, target shooting. So you know that sport where people have like the bow and the arrow, and they shoot arrows. And I'm gonna explain it. So people that do this sport know where they have to put the arrow. So they have this circle, and here's the center. It's beautiful. And they know that they have to get it here in the center. But that doesn't mean they're gonna get it every time. They have to know where to put their arms, their hand, their other arm, and their feet. And how do I represent the feet and the placing of your body? So that's like the steps to follow, the things to do to finally get to your objective. The next one is working harder, not smarter. It's actually the opposite. You have to work smarter, not harder. So sometimes teenagers are just fulfilling what school asks, and they're not even understanding what they're writing or what they're reading. They're just trying to fulfill. You have to work for a certain, like, short amount of time and trying to understand everything. So in that way, you don't have to work harder and study a lot more time for an exam, for example. Same methods, different projects. So, like I started saying before, it's the opposite. You have to use different methods for each different project. So, you're not going to use the same method you use to presentation that you use to do a math guide. That doesn't make sense.